Hi guys, and welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Well, we had a question and somebody was asking, they wanted to have a button fade in over an image. And it's pretty easy to do. No coding involved in this today. We're doing this purely with the inbuilt features of the Divi theme itself. So let's get started. I'm going to enable the Visual Builder. And let's just create another row below. I'm going to put 3 columns in there. And I'm actually going to use a call to action for this rather than a button. So we can use padding to affect the aspect of the image that we're going to use. Okay, so I don't want a title. Put whatever you want your button to say there, and I know we can't see one, you won't see it until we put a link in. And I don't want any content. So let's delete that. Now let's go down the link just below. As soon as I put a link in here, I'm just going to put a hashtag in place of a link. You'll see the button appear there. Best practices, as always, if you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking off-site to somebody else's site, open it in a new tab so your site stays open. Great, so we got our button and we got our background here. Now to actually make this work the easy way, we're going to put the image itself in the background, in the column, not actually in the module itself. So what I'm going to do, we're still on the content, I'm going to go down to background and take that away. That button's going to disappear because it'll be white on white. That's fine. And we'll save what we've got there. Now let's go into our column here. Little green tab for the row. Just hit the little cog. We've got 3 columns here. I'm going to go in and put an image behind it. So I'm in the first, content, background. You've got color, gradient, image or video. I'm going to put in an image. And as you can see, it's appeared behind there with our little button on top, which is great. While I'm in here, I'm going to put an image in our other 2 columns here so we can do sort of 3 at once if we need to. So let's save this one if you're happy with it. You've got your usual cover, center and move if you want to reposition your background image there, but I'm going to leave mine just as it is at the moment because the default is center. So I'm going to save that. That takes us back to the row. If we roll back up, let's do column 2. And I'll pop an image in there. And the reason you can't see it, we've got nothing in this column to give it any height. That's fine. And we'll do similar for number 3. Okay, well let's save this. Save the row. Now we can go back into our button module here. Click on the little cog. We can use the padding to give that image the aspect that we want to give it. So let's go down. I'm on the design tab. We'll go down to spacing. And on the top, let's give it 100 pixels. And hit the chain, it'll do the same on the bottom for you. You can put different values in. If you want the button on the bottom, just uncheck that. And let's change that to say 10 pixels. Now your button's on the bottom and you can style this. Get whatever aspect for the image that you want there. But I'm happy for mine to be both the same. So I'm going to put 100 on the top, 100 on the bottom. Now to make this work for responsive devices, let's pop up here because we can change the padding. Hit the little cell phone type icon there. And we'll go to tablet view and we want a kind of square type image. That's our first ones up there. Here's our new batch right here. So let's try upping that. Let's say 200. It's okay, a bit more I think. Let's say 250. There we go, that's more sort of square looking. And for the mobile, we don't want them long like that, we want them square again, so let's take it back to 100 on the mobile. There we go. So we got that for cell phone. Got this for tablet. And we got this for desktop. Great. That seems to be working fine. Well, let's make our button do what they're asking. They were saying they want to see the image first, and then when they hover over the image, they want to see the button. Really easy. So we're in our call to action module here. On the design tab, I'm going to close up spacing. I'm going to go down to filters. If we roll down, we've got one called opacity. Now opacity is sort of transparency or see-throughness, if you like. And if we roll up, and this is common to all Divi modules, if you hover over the dark writing, some little icons will appear. If you hover over and there's a little arrow there, you can set a desktop state when the mouse is not on it, and a hover state obviously when the mouse is on it. So when the mouse is not actually on it, we don't want to see that button at all. So I'm going to slide this all the way down there, and as you can see, all we can see is the image now. When they put their mouse on it, I want it to be fully visible. Now the time it takes to get from desktop to hover state, you can slow down or speed up however you wish. Default's 300 mils, which for me is quite quick. I like to slow it down for a bit of drama. To do that, hit your advanced tab, go down to transitions. There's the 300 milliseconds, just under a third of a second. I'm going to pull mine up to, I don't know, around a second maybe. Whatever works for you, obviously. Transition speed curve I like to use for these sort of effects is ease in, ease out. They're all pretty similar. Some will work better in certain situations than others, but for my hover type effects I tend to use that one, but play with them and see what works for you. Alright, well that's most of it done now. Of course you can decorate your button however you want in the design tab here. Just go into design, down to button, and if you want to you can use custom styles. Text size, I'll leave that just as it is. As with the text color, let's give it a bit of a background. Just use a simple blue. But I'm going to take the opacity down so we can see a bit more of the image through it, and I just clicked on the color there in the field, and this right hand slider here is the opacity. That'll work. And let's take that border away. If we roll down a bit, here's your border. You can choose colors and hover effects if you want to. I'm simply going to take my border away, and we should be good to go. Now just to check, doesn't matter what element you hover over, get the hover state up to have a look at it. If you're affecting the actual number that's in there, you need to be on the one that you want to affect. But just to check it out, desktop state, no button, hover state, button. There we go. That seems to work perfectly. So let's just save this module, and what I'm going to do is duplicate it. I'm going to hit the little two squares to duplicate, drag one over, doesn't matter which one, they're identical, and as if by magic the new image appears. Do the same thing, two little squares, drag one over, new image appears. And of course you're going to want to go in and change the link if you want to take them somewhere else. So simply go in there, go down to the link, and put your new link in for each one. So let's save our changes. Make sure this is going to work on the front end. Exit the visual builder, and there we go. There's our little images. When we hover over, we've got our button, and we can click on it and take our visitors wherever you want to take them. So there you go. I hope that's answered that question for you, how to have an image and have a button appear when you hover over it. I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Once again, this has been Jamie from System22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.